All right, a very good morning, ladies and gents, boys and girls. You know what time it is. It's the Brawl Stars Sing World Community Rumble, April Cup number 1 or Finals number 1. It's myself, Death Adder, joined in the virtual studio with none other than Mr. Hey, I'm Quack. Quack, how you doing? He's doing all right. Well, I think maybe I can't hear him. So does he? Is his mic muted, or could it be my sound? I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, welcome back, folks. And we do have a new format for you this April. It is, of course, Brawl Ball. So the whole of today is just going to be Brawl Ball all the way. And what's going to happen is, of course, we did have the qualifiers earlier yesterday, and today we start with the top 4. Now, how it's working out is it's still double elimination. We still have the upper bracket going on, but the upper bracket round 1 will be a best of 3. And from that stage onwards, everything else is a best of 5. And what's up for stakes? $1,200, if I'm not wrong. Yes, $1,200 in cold, hard cash, with the following price distribution of $550, $300, $150, and then $50 amongst those top 4 teams. So just by qualifying, they already have secured prize money, and of course they're just vying for more money. And joining me back in the studio, Quack is back. How are you doing, Quack?
Can I be heard again, or is my mic still?
You are back. Yes, we can hear you.
Thank God. I have no idea what's going on with my computer, but thankfully I'm back. And yeah, it's been a great morning. Of course, thank you for bringing us through the prize distribution and the new format and all that lovely good stuff. It's just, we know what time it is. You said it at the start. We know what time it is. It's Brawl Stars time. And a lot of actually interesting or new things within the what would you call it? The Brawl Stars universe. First of all, we have a new brawler. I think it came out last month. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. It's Stu, the stunt dude. He's like this stunt man guy. Looks like Evil Knievel. He's a robot on just on one wheel, and he's really, really fast. He's got quite a decent amount of damage, and his super, it charges up as soon as one of his shots connect. So you can just spam it again and again. And aside from that, I think there are interesting new updates that are coming up soon as well. And along with that, new brawlers that will be coming into the game whenever that happens. I don't know what to think of this. And maybe the Brawl Stars community in Singapore are very excited for it.
Yeah, well, here we have on the screen, of course, the new format. So the price pool per month, $2,400, 2,400 buckaroos, split into 2. And of course, each month has fixed modes. So April, both cups are going to be fully Brawl Ball. May going to be a completely different mode. June is going to be a completely different mode. So exciting stuff, and also it gives you an opportunity to practice up on a singular mode compared to having to focus on multiple modes and splitting your attention into all these different strategies, so you can really buckle down, focus, and really explore singular strategies that work on each of these modes. But still, like you said, very interesting brawler. And I think it fits the bill, to be honest, on Brawl Ball. Just having that extra maneuverability and speed is going to be top tier. Top 4 teams that have qualified. We have, of course, Team Flash, Subtilizer, QO59, and Umbrella. So if you don't know about Team Flash, they basically signed up almost all of the PSG roster. They've got Wiggly Spoo there as the head coach as well, and also a couple of other big known figures on the scene. So essentially, they signed an all-star team. So that's going to be interesting to see how they actually do, whether they've whether they can gel well, and whether Wiggly Spoo has those strategies pat down with the rest of them.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's You know, we have that little like group chat where we're gonna share with each other all these like Brawl Stars things and we talk about the cast and stuff. When you just sent that one picture, like that one tweet, oh my god, it's Team Flash. What happened to PSG? And it's kind of like that. It's a very attention-catching thing, right? I mean, PSG, they were basically the best team when we started out this Brawl Stars SG Community Rumble thing. They won, what was it, like 3 months in a row, maybe even more. And it's not even just, you know, getting the grand champion, the first place prize. They won in like just really dominating fashion. It was like 2-0s, I mean 3-0s, 5-0s all throughout. And now in Team Flash, they might not have Scythe, who was, you know, one of the OG PSG roster guys. They got basically, maybe dare I say, the best brawlers, the best Brawl Stars players within the whole country. You know, it's Cootie Ace, of course, but they also have JK Response, who was from PSG, CZK, and Wiggly's, who is coaching them. And this is a very stacked team.
Pretty much. And the thing is, like, even though Wiggly Spoo is the coach, there's nothing stopping him from coming in as a sub or as part of the team as well. So definitely big juggernauts, really huge force to be reckoned with. And I have no doubt they'll be carrying the Singapore flag very, very successfully and very proudly in future tournaments as well. So we're just waiting for the teams to get into the lobby and ready up, and we'll get back into the action. What do we see? Last month on Brawl, we saw a really strange meta shift, and I think, was it people were using... Was it? It was really weird. It was like... I think it was... Not Max? Was it Max?
Could be Max.
Yeah, they were using,
you know,
they're using Max, right? For like the, yeah, they were using Max for like a really crazy speed boost, and we're just like abusing the heck out of that strategy, or really utilizing it very, very well, which is completely different to prior, the prior cups or prior months that we saw. So that was very interesting to note, and. Also, on the other game modes, it was just like completely different. It was a completely different play style altogether, as if some rebalancing happened that just invalidated all prior strategies. But we're into the game now, and we see...
Oh my god.
We see Flash versus Subtilizer so early on. What in the heck is going on with these graphics? Is it just the skins that make it...
Possibly. It could be the skins, but might I draw your attention to Cootie Ace just playing Frank? Such a big helpful. They can't stop him. We've seen this before. It's Frank. You don't see a Frank too often in Brawl Ball because he's slow. His damage is good. You know, he can stun, and that's awesome. He can break apart obstacles. But he's really slow, and unless he's supported by teammates, you know, there's not much that you can do. But he just walks it right in, and Response is doing the same thing. They're doing the 2 tanky brawlers plus 1 support strategy, and it works out beautifully for them. This is just the first game, dude. It's not even...
I mean, the name of the game is health points, is his hit points, right? If you can't kill him, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger and gets you gold, gets you points. So definitely, I think that was a surprise round. They went for it, and they got the better of them. So like, we're gonna see the I'm pretty sure we're gonna see the lineup change again. But this was something that PSG before, like the members of PSG were very well known for, right? Like, they were very good on Brawl Ball, but they always had like they always had constant pocket strats. Usually you just have one pocket strat and you pull it out when you really need it.
Yes.
But then it was just like super unconventional warfare. It's like, we'll use this lineup now, second lineup will completely change when you think we're going to stick with the same lineup, and it's just like a constant guessing game with them. You don't know what they're going to use, and you don't know what they're going to utilize, and at the same time they're already thinking like 3-4 steps ahead of you. So you have to get into that mindset, as well as, you know, if you can't be reactive. You have to be proactive to take them down. And if that means that you have to use a totally unconventional lineup, then by all means you should use that.
Yeah, exactly. Playing against a team like Team Flash, you just need to, I don't know, be prepared for whatever. What's the term actually I'm thinking of? Like, you gotta expect the unexpected with them. Something like that, right? Because they pull out these strats that you don't expect too often, of course. Playing Frank is something that Kudies has been doing since the very first Brawl Stars monthly cup, and he's doing it again. It's not something that you expect. It's not easy to counter, and I mean, if I just take a look at the map, of course, it's Winter Party. There's a nice patch of grass in the center. If I look at the recommended teams on the Brawlify website, first of all, everyone's playing Stu now just because he's so fast. You even have the highest win rates on brawlers like Jack, Amber, Rosa, just because you can counter those the bush plays in the center. But this guy just goes with Frank. And you need to think about, okay, if they're going to play brawlers that are super tanky, how do I counter that? And if I do go with something that is possibly a glass cannon to take down the tanks, going into the second round, what if they switch up their brawlers? And another thing is, according to our producer, Team Flash actually won the game 1-0 early on. So that might have been 2-0 already, I'm not too sure. But then again, it's all Brawl Ball now, so we're just gonna head into the next map if it does happen that way. So,
if it's a 2-0, then I guess we're gonna go to a short break, and we'll be back with the next matchup between Team Kaz and Team Kaz and not yet. Okay, so I guess not, but. Yeah, it's Flash Subtilizers. Next matchup is going to be Kyo59. Apparently, according to the stream chat, is Team Kaz. So it'll be Team Kaz versus Umbrella.
New name, I guess, or some kind of a typo, maybe. But yeah, Team Kaz versus Umbrella. Basically, all familiar names that we've seen, throughout this entire Brawl Stars SG Community Rumble. Okay, so it is a 1-0. They just started early, and then we had to cast it really quick. So right now, it's the second map. It's going to be Bank Shot, and instead of going for the 2 tanks, this is a map that is a lot more spread widely. You got obstacles all across the place, which is why they're going for these kind of zoning style of brawlers. We got Nita, we got Barley, we got Jesse on the other side, a Subtilizer as well. So that's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, and like we said, completely changed up the lineup to keep them guessing. JK, like you said, on Barley. Barley always good on Brawl Ball, to be honest. I really like Barley because it's a very... The maps are really small, and that AoE, whether it's the healing one, whether you have it on the heal mode, whether you have it on the damage boost mode, it's always useful. And Response using that sprout to really good effect, just locking them into their 18-yard box is what you would call it if we were casting pure football. But JK now has LMAO right in the corner and just slowly inching their way up now. Thanius dodging some of those Barley shots, but not enough. He gets smacked in the face by Response and JK, both with their AoEs stacking on top of each other. Just too much damage for them to handle. Now Kudies on that left flank with Anita, just trying to get his super up, and once he does, the bear is going to come out, and it's going to be one fierce hungry bear. Pops the ball down to Kudies, does Response down into the central area. Regain holding on for dear life, only has one more shot in him, and he's going to go down after that. But Thanius goes in and will get dropped. Here comes the bear, like you said, Quack. And now I think this shot is going to be a pretty easy shot for Kudies. He's just chilling, waiting for them to respawn so he can just pop it in their face and let them know, hey, we are the bosses.
We are the bosses. And now 15 seconds left. That's another thing about waiting for the respawn before you actually shoot the ball in, right? So it's already a 1-0, 5 seconds left, and there's nothing that the Satellisers can do. So this is going to be another, actually, yeah, it is a 2-0 win for Team Flash on Satelliser. When you have, it's basically you secured the goal, you can just stand right outside the goalpost, wait for your opponents to respawn, and then you shoot the ball in. It's a little bit of like that BM, like, I'm going to show you who's the boss. But it's also letting the timer tick down, actually. It's not that big of a difference from my experience, but that's what people do. There's that mental damage, but there's also, you're playing the long game. You're letting the timer tick down, and then once you spend that extra like 1, maybe 2 or 3 seconds on your opponent's side when they respawn, and then you shoot the goal in, it buys time. And it buys time in the fact that it goes down into 15 seconds left, the countdown timer starts ticking, and then there's nothing that they can do. It's kind of this long game that Team Flash were playing. They just know exactly how to play Brawl Ball. We've talked about this so many times before, and they're just so darn good at it. There's not much else to say. They take this 2-0.
Yeah, so that is all she wrote for our first Upper Bracket 1 match. It's going to be Kaz versus Umbrella in a few short minutes. We'll go to a quick break, and we'll be back with more Brawl Stars action.
I guess? Wait. It's not happening yet?
No?
Maybe? I don't know. They're just going to go right into it. Oh, right, sorry. So it's the second map, and then it's still, you gotta, win 2-0 before you go into the next one.
Alright, okay, yeah. Well, it's a new format, so we're all getting used to the new format. So yes, okay, it's a best of 3, so you have 3 different maps, not 3 different wins. So it's best of 3, 3 different maps, and we're still in the first map. So, are we still in the first map?
No, this is the second map. Second map, and then you gotta have best of 3 on the map.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've taken the first map. We're gonna go into the second map now. If you guys are as confused as us, don't worry. Couple ripples in the morning. We'll get through it together. And yeah, Quack, why don't you take it away?
We're gonna take it away, and it's basically, again, Team Flash just destroying the Satellisers. Okay, let's try to analyze this, right? Because it happens so quick. It is Brawl Ball after all. But just taking a look at the composition that Team Flash has. First of all, it's Jesse, it's Ems, and then, of course, Ace on Surge. The fact that you can teleport, that he already has this 3rd stripe. So that's 3 out of 4 upgrades. 1 more and he's basically unstoppable. It's a nice speed boost as well, but just Response is able to zone them out. Put out those couple of perfume sprays, and they want to avoid it. At the same time, this allows for Ace and the remaining player to come up from the left side and do as much as possible. They've bought up a lot of time already. 1 goal is already on the board on the side of Team Flash, and the Satellisers are struggling to just find any semblance of control, right? The ball is always pushed up in this forward position, and it's kind of scary if you're on the Satelliser side. They are going for that sort of double tank brawler composition setup. We got 1 Poco, we got a Daryl, and then we also have Jack. But that's the thing about Jack and Daryl. They're close-range brawlers. On a map like this, especially when you're playing against a brawler like Ems, you get zoned out so hard. It's very difficult for you to push forward. And right now, Response, they're basically just parking the bus, maintaining possession of the ball. 1 second left, and it's Team Flash with another 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, like, let's take a step back, right? Like, how can Subtilizers get back into the game, in your opinion, in terms of lineup? Whether it's in terms of lineup or in terms of strategy?
They have to get into the minds of Team Flash. On this map, if you're going to go with that sort of tanky brawler, 2 heavyweights and 1 support, it's not going to work. And especially when Team Flash are playing brawlers that zone, like Ems, Barley, you're not going to be able to close the distance well enough. You have to think about, what are Team Flash looking to do next? Are they going to be playing that kind of close range brawler, 2 tanks, going with the Frank kind of brawler style again? Or are they going to go for something completely different? And I think the way to figure that out, maybe study up the matchups, right? Think about how Team Flash has played previously, when they were PSG, or maybe when it was Wiggly Spoo in Icy or Grassmud Doppin. Aside from that, you also have to think about, okay, if this is how the map is laid out, then these are probably the kinds of brawlers that they're going to pick. That would be their strategy. How do we counter that? That's your kind of plan to take them down. But you can't just go for, okay, you know what, I like this brawler, I'm going to pick it, let's hope it sticks, and we hope for the best. You might get destroyed if you do that kind of thing. So it's tough, but right now that was already a 2-0 on both maps, which basically means Team Flash takes the win off the upper bracket, and they get to go into the upper bracket finals.
All right, well, now we are definitely going to go for a break. We'll be back in 3 minutes time with more Brawl Stars action. So go and grab a couple of snacks and a nice cold glass of water, and we'll see you in a short bit.
Hello, and welcome back to the Brawl Stars Singapore Community Rumble. It's a bit of early, well, not so early anymore. It's 11.
Early morning gremlins, early cast gremlins. So
little gremlins,
happens.
They keep disturbing us. Yeah, it's their fault, not ours.
Yeah, and the gremlins will deal with the gremlins. They'll get out of the system pretty quickly as we get to the latter stages. Yeah, as we get to the latter stages of the competition, not composition.
I'm gonna pick that up later.
we'll pick up the brackets now. The updated brackets, as you'll see, Team Flash has obliterated Subtilizers, and what we're gonna have next is Team Kaz versus Umbrella. Again, remember the whole competition today is gonna be on Brawl Ball, only Brawl Ball, nothing else.
Only Brawl Ball, nothing else. And for the upper brackets round 1, it's going to be the same 3 maps. The first one is going to be Winter Party. We saw that earlier on, followed by Bank Shot, which is the one that's slightly more open, not as many grass patches, a lot of obstacles, followed by Fast Fork. This is fun. We didn't get to do this as much from the previous months. It's a mix-up of all. It's kind of like how the normal tournaments would go. You got different game modes, different maps, but this time it's just Brawl Ball, and we really get to explore and really experiment around each and every single one of these maps. So that's gonna be fun. And just looking at Winter Party, I mean, first of all, Team Flash, Subtilizer, that's done and dusted. Unfortunate for Subtilizer, but wow, Team Flash. Umbrella versus Kaz, we've seen these guys before, and of course, they're pretty darn good as well. But on Winter Party, this is not a map that we've seen too often. It's open, you got the grass patches, which means those can be exploited. But then again, you got Stu, who's just this really fun brawler to play. I personally didn't really enjoy it just because everyone was playing him at some point because he was free, and his pick rate is actually something like 7.3%, which is really, really high. So we haven't seen Stu yet. I hope that maybe Umbrella or Kaz are gonna deploy him, but that's yet to be seen.
I think they're kind of, no one's very confident about using it yet, and I don't know. Now is actually a good time to experiment when you're in the upper bracket, because unless it's a pocket strat for the lower bracket when you're really in trouble, then maybe you will see him then. But if they wanted to experiment with lineups, like now's the time to actually do it, rather than later where you need that get out of jail free card. But yeah, we're just waiting for them to join the lobby, and we'll be back into the action. If you're gonna be it's gonna be a bit confusing as we switch maps, because the majority of the maps kind of look the same. Essentially, it's just different obstacles in different places. But you're gonna see the theme throughout, which is basically the Brawl Ball enclosure, right? So, oh wow. So we have Umbrella basically takes out Q059 on Team Kaz because they've been disqualified, apparently, is what we've been told. So that's a bit unfortunate, which means we go straight to the upper bracket final, which is Team Flash versus Umbrella. Following that, it will be the loser of that match going up against Subtilizers in the low bracket final, and then we will wrap it up with the grand final. So just waiting for Team Flash and Umbrella to get into that is surprising though, to get into the lobby, and we will be underway with the upper bracket final. So wonder what happened there.
we never quite know what happens behind the scenes, especially with the teams and the players, but sometimes I'm just gonna put it out there. It's the morning gremlins. It's all their fault. You know, they're invisible. They get all up in your systems and wires and they mess everything up. It gets rough and rocky sometimes, but then again, Rocky Road is a delicious ice cream flavor. So I don't know.
Oh,
Phil is just like confused by the words that are coming out of my mouth right now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play around with my microphone boom arm and just pretend that didn't
I'm just
happen.
gonna keep talking about food. You know, we got Rocky Road ice cream. I love it. You got marshmallows. It's chocolate. Sometimes you got nuts in there.
What was
But
really
more
good
interestingly-
is back in the day we had I don't know, Ben and Jerry's had I love maple syrup and I love like brown sugar,
Oh.
and Ben and Jerry's had I think it was
What's it
a
called?
maple swirl or something, and it was
It had like brownies
essentially
in it.
no, so it was vanilla ice cream. It was vanilla bean ice cream with swirls of maple syrup, like caramel maple syrup, and like chunks of brown sugar, like literally cubes of brown sugar
Oh, there it is.
in it. What was it called?
So I just consulted my machine of great knowledge. In other words, Google.
AKA Google.
Yep, it's one of two or three names. I'm not sure. There, you know, because in Singapore we don't get all the flavors that they have. in the
Check 'em out.
States. Yeah, it's either Maple Tree Hugger, the Vermonster, which for Vermont, I guess, which probably isn't gonna happen, or Maple Blondie. But you know what? The game's already started. Team Flash, they're underway. No maple syrup here. It's not sticky at all. In fact, it's just response with Mortis. He dives right in. Wiggly's Poo trying to take Prime out, but they are able to sustain themselves thanks to the heal from Poco. But of course, Jay is right behind their backs. He's gonna suck them in and allowing for response to get back into the fray. No Cootie Ace this time around. Wiggly's Poo is the one who subbed himself in. So let's see how this one plays out.
So here we go. Are we gonna call him? I'm gonna call him Ulti because like I have no idea what his name is. Unless it's like, is that just his name spelled backwards? Armada? I have no idea. So Ulti, Mr. Ulti Bear, he's up there in the corner. Tara pops the ult, no one there. They're just gonna walk it in. Is JK since they've taken out two of them, and they'll pick up that first goal pretty easily. So Team Flash going for basically using JK's ult to suck everyone in, and then the Mortis will follow up with the triple hit, hopefully trying to take out two targets at the same time, which does heal them up. Wiggly Spoo at the back, like you said, with the Poco with the heals. And again, they'll walk it in, so they'll take the first round on that first map very, very easily, pretty quickly as well. And that's what we've come to. That's what we've come to see with Team Flash, right? Even in the previous days, they've done this. They've done this as well in the future. But yeah, it's a tough ask. It's a very tough ask of Umbrella to get back into it. But I think they really have to dig deep down, and they're gonna need something better to stop this. I think Bali is always a good choice, to be honest. If you're going up against any team on Brawl, because the AoE just helps you so much, and you can put your gadget down, right? So instead of having the ultimate that damages, you can have it to heal, so that can sustain anyone that you have on your side. Potentially, you can run a Mortis as well, or you can run something that's a bit more tanky. So, you know, looking at what could we, you could put a Nita, because the bear does help as well. Also, I think we saw the previous month we had Ember worked pretty well also with the flamethrower, because it was doing so much direct damage. And in Brawl Ball, you can't escape these areas of attack, right? You can't escape the choke points. So Ember might be good also. So it's very curious to see that they're unable to deal with some of these more traditional kind of lineups that Flash are using.
It's yeah. But right now, so we're getting a little bit of information from the producers. Team Flash, they basically won that first best of one. Is that am I hearing this right? Yeah, I'm pretty confused as well. Oh my gosh, this new format.
So
You're
that
gonna have to.
I mean, by right, if it's a best of 5, so they've won the first map essentially. I think that's what they're trying to say, which means in a best of 5 you need to win 3 maps.
3
right?
Yeah.
And each map is a best of 3 rounds. If you want to deconstruct it, so far they've won the first map, which means we're gonna go into the second map very shortly. So we're just waiting for all the players to get back into the lobby, and then we'll start off with that second map in this best of 5.
There you have it. So it's a little bit rough on the edges sometimes. You got to smooth things out, but we're going to move on into the next map. It's Triple Dribble. And again, super quick, Jay just pushes up forward. And Umbrella, they're trying to maybe go with a bit of counter aggression. Is that what I'm seeing here? We got Mortis, we got Daryl, but when they're pushing forward, it allows for response and Jay to just sneak up on the sides and they go undetected somehow, I guess. Umbrella are using the composition that we saw Settlizers deploy earlier on before the break, and it didn't work out against Team Flash, but I guess they're actually going with a almost a mirror matchup, but this time it's going to be Weekly's Pooh, the last one to defend, and he won't be able to do so. No more shots in his chamber, and not enough damage as Poco as well. So both teams need to be very cautious about how they approach this one. They can't just rush in nonstop anymore.
Yeah, so they've equalized the 1-1, but now they're just going to walk it in again. Like, they can't do anything. They can't do anything to him. So response stays alive, and they will take another series, which basically means they are up 2-0 at the moment.
I just said you can't exactly, rush in when you have both brawler compositions being this sort of aggressive close range melee style, but evidently you can. If you're JK or response, you can do whatever you want and just push the ball forward and dash up and then kick the ball in. Okay. This is where
we're not at their level, so at the end of the day, the rules of it's like a 5-year-old kid studying physics compared to a quantum mechanic, quantum physicist. Let's not question the gods. As they take that win. So we're gonna go into the next matchup very shortly as they take that second game very convincingly. Yeah.
That is just absolutely incredible. It's every time I'm trying to get into the minds of the players. I'm trying to think, okay, if I were Umbrella right now, what do I do? How do I play against Team Flash? Or if I were Team Flash, what kind of strategy am I trying to use to destroy my opponents, right? But every time the game starts and I just take a look, okay, this is the brawler composition, this is the map, this is where they're headed out towards, where they're trying to position themselves, which means this is what they're probably trying to do. But instead, it's just straight up, let's ignore everything. We have these fast brawlers, and the objective is to push the ball into the goal, so that's all we're gonna do. Why focus on the kills when you can just push the ball in? And just as soon as the game starts, That's already what we're seeing. They already have the ball in such a forward position, and Umbrella couldn't stop them from pushing it in.
So already taking down the middle obstacles, which opens the shot angle for JK, and JK very easily will be able to pop the goal in. So again, they've basically made very short work of Team Umbrella.
Was that it? Oh my god, this is...
That's 2-0. So they've taken the second series 2-0. They took the first series 2-0, and now we're gonna go to the third map. And if they take that third map, they will have essentially gone flawless again in the upper bracket final.
This isn't even a game anymore. Team Flash. I just... What? Okay, again, a lot of questions in my mind right now. First of all, what happened to PSG? Second of all, how are they doing this in the game? And it's just like as quick as a flash, you know, lightning flash, just 1 second. We don't even get a chance to cast the game. As soon as we jump right in, it's already done. Yeah. If this were like, you know, a newscast like Anchorman or something, I just, like, if I had notes on my table, it's just throw them up in the air. I'm done. Words.
All right, well, while Clark is fixing his omelet scrambled egg of a brain, let's give some shout outs. Shout out to Legend XBS, to Tired King as well. Also to Miko Harrison, Christopher Sierre, who apparently has a shout out for you on your Twitter. And also shout out to Oliver as well for joining us this morning, and everyone else. So probably the 10 other people on the broadcast that are tuning in, a very good morning to you guys, and welcome to the cast. If you're not sure what happened, just what has happened so far. Team Flash in the upper bracket round 1 took out Subtilizers 2-0. We then had Team McCaz disqualified from the tournament, and we'll find out that reason later on. But basically, that has compressed today's schedule, and we are back here. Team Flash versus Umbrella in the upper bracket final. Flash leading 2-0 in this best of 5.
That's right, and right now we are into Backyard Bowl. Very open, and we have little 3 boxes of obstacles for cover, which is why both sides right now, they're playing this sort of very... how do I describe this? Sort of a DM kind of style of gameplay. They're using the boxes for cover, and they're trying to connect their shots, build up their supers, and once they have that, it's time for them to go in with a strategy. We have a wall up on the left, and we also have a spike field up on the right, and now we can see Response is trying to create space using those obstacles to push up forward. But then again, I think what they're trying to do right now, Team Flash, is to take out the Umbrella players, and once 2 or 3 of them are down, then they'll take the ball and then push it up forward. So right now, ball is already up towards Umbrella's goal, and Prime is one of the only ones left alive while his teammates respawn. They finally come back in the game, and they manage to push the ball back in the center. So a full reset right now on both sides.
They're just very defensive at the moment, like you said. I think they're just really trying to wait it out and charge up their supers. Now, I have no idea what's going on with the camera angle, but Killer will come through down the middle, and Umbrella will finally score a goal.
Yeah, camera's a little bit broken. I guess it's... now we're back into it. Okay. Camera seems to be a little bit more fixed this time around, but basically what happened earlier on was Killer using Gene. He has the magic hands, he can pull them in, and if he is able to connect the pull onto someone, it will break apart those obstacles, which gave him a very clear line of sight, allowed him to score one nice goal. And right now it's up to Team Flash to tie and even out the scoreboard, but Crazy Dog is not going to let them do it that easily. He takes down one with that beautiful, beautiful dash.
Oh,
It's all out to JK now. He does take them out. And this could give him the goal that he needs. Deploys the spike field down in the center, but unfortunately gets taken out. And I don't think Wiggly's Poo is in a good enough position to create any sort of change. So it's going to be Umbrella taking Team Flash down for the first time of today.
So they'll take round 1 of the best of 3 on map 3. And Team Flash are going to be wondering, what is going on? How did they let that slip through their grasp? But like you said, Killer doing a great, excellent job with his super. Really knew what was possible, how he could execute it, and he was able to do so successfully. So getting that pull in, dropping the obstacles, giving him a clear line of sight of the goal, and took that shot when he needed to absolute perfection, which allowed them to go up 1-0. And then after that, all they had to do was just park the bus. They were very close to tying it towards the end when the Lu put down the super and 2 of them got taken out. But again, that whole line of obstacles just to the detriment of Team Flash in that round.
Yeah, it was a little bit tough. Team Flash, I think they were trying to go for kind of a big brain zoning kind of strategy, but then again, the zoning only comes in when in full effect when they have their supers, right? They were playing Spike, they were playing Lu, and lastly they were playing Sprout. 3 brawlers which are kind of long range. You know, two out of 3 of them are basically throwers. I guess Spike and Sprout kind of fit that category, and Lu on the other hand is kind of a sharpshooter, right? He throws out 3 ice cream cones in a little burst. They don't have the best damage in that sense, so they're gonna have to switch it up, and that's exactly what they're gonna do. We have a Mortis, and also we have a Byron, and lastly, man, I forgot her name, but it's the one with the handbags. But there we have it, sharpshooters all around.
So slowly making their way back in. They will get possession of that. Prime is going to try and walk it in. Oh, an amazing pass over to Krez Dog. We'll get that goal for Umbrella. So Umbrella clawing their way back in with, of course, with that substitution is making a big difference in this game.
Yeah, pretty big. Backyard Bowl is just so open, and it allows for Umbrella to basically kind of out DM Team Flash. You know, both sides are playing sharpshooters, but they are varying in terms of strategy and stuff. So the brawler that I forgot earlier is basically Colette. She has the dash, and it's very strong, but response with Mortis means that he needs to be a lot more careful about how he approaches fights. If he just walks out in the open, he's susceptible to shots, and at the same time, Crazy Dog playing Crow, which is a brawler that you don't see too often. You got nice little that super jump. You have the poison damage over time. It's very strong, and it keeps your opponents guessing. He's able to change up his position so quick, and that means that Team Flash need to be very careful about how they take these fights. At the same time, Wiggly's Poo, his best bet is to try to connect a shot, do some damage over time. At the same time, he wants to support his teammates, so this is pretty darn scary of your Team Flash right now. They are at a very possible 2-0. Umbrella, if they are able to take down 2 or 3 players from Team Flash, they get to easily walk the ball in towards the forward position, and that puts Team Flash in a very bad spot. I think the timer is ticking down at the same time.
The pivotal thing here is look at the positioning of the damage booster by Killer 34, right? He's put it right behind the box and also very close to the grass patch, which means if they need to fall back, if he needs to teleport behind the box, he can do so straight into the grass patch, and that gives them the regen as well. And they're using that, they're exploiting it to the greatest extent, because just as I say that, look, Killer almost goes down, teleports back to the damage booster into the grass patch, almost immediately starts regenning because he's not taking any damage and he's not doing anything else. And that sustains them. They also had the Sprout up as well. So together with the photosynthesis, just so much sustain there. And Flash just could not take out that damage booster. It was just like in the perfect place for them. So just like that, Umbrella, hard fought, but were in control. All they had to do was keep a hold of that lead of that first goal, and they've done so successfully. So have they found the secret to taking down Flash? Perhaps it might be. But right now it's 2-1 on this best of 5, and we're going to go into the fourth map.
Fourth map, which will be Jumping Beans. But then again, I have to say that was brilliant analysis there, Phil, with what you mentioned on the 8-bit with the teleporter. I mean, Killer 34 just basically, proved you completely right. That's like the color caster's dream. You make an analysis, you talk about the position, and then they actually do it, and you're like, oh yes, thank you so much. So hopefully they get to do that again. We talk about Team Umbrella basically figured out a way to beat Team Flash. Maybe, if we take a look at what just happened, the first 2 maps were really close, and Team Flash were playing this very fast, up-in-your-face kind of style. And Team Umbrella, I think I peg them for this team that likes to take the fights a lot more. They want to take down brawlers before they make a move, which is a lot more calculated. Team Flash, on the other hand, they're kind of just rushing them down. So it might have worked out in the first 2 maps, which were very close range, but on the third map, Backyard Bowl, a lot more open, and that is one that favors the Team Umbrella. Right now, though, Jumping Beans could go either way, I think. It's fairly open in the center, but at the same time, you got grass patches on both left and right lanes of the map, which could favor Team Flash's style. If they play brawlers like, again, I want to see a Stu. We haven't seen that yet today, but if they go for something close range, something fast, maybe a Max, maybe a Mortis, or maybe even a BB, they just rush into those grass patches, make it their domain. They're going to be able to possibly take the fight to Team Umbrella. Once they seize control over the ball and they rush it in, then they'll be unstoppable. On the other hand, if you were Team Umbrella, your job is to basically stop Team Flash from taking these close range engagements. So you want to zone them out. And that's kind of what we're seeing on the Pam and the Tara right now. But yeah, Team Flash, they're trying to play a little bit more safe this time. I'm seeing Wiggly Spoo on Sandy, but no, the fact that the Max player just fell allows for Crazy Dog to walk the ball in. Not what you want to have happen in the early game, but that's just how it's going to be. 1-0 for now.
Yeah, you need to hit your shots, and you need to really be careful and have some spatial awareness. This map is going to be slightly trickier with all those grass patches. So it's not a matter of whether it will happen, but you will lose sight of your opponents every now and then, and you have to make sure that you and your teammates keep track of everyone. Killer onto like about 100 health points, almost goes down and was almost ready to get that shot off. But here comes the ult from the Tara. Wiggly Spoo is able to drop Killer and almost gets taken out himself, but he'll be able to escape the grass patches and regen. Now Ace on that middle area has super ready whenever he wants to pop that, and he will do so right now. So that's going to signal the push from them. Wow. Ace will take out Dog on the back end, but they've lost possession of the ball. They're able to clear it out, does Prime do. That's what he does before he goes down, and now they're lining up for a 3-man push onto Dog. Almost takes him out, but he'll hold his own and will be able to take out JK. So now the counter attack from Umbrella down onto the left flank. Does Dog go through? Flurry of bullets onto JK. A lot of covering fire, just trying to hold him down and suppress him. And he'll pop that ball into the corner once again. So Team Flash going to have to work from scratch to get it up.
Let's see if that will work out for them. So far, it's kind of okay, but they have to be very careful about how they are approaching this. Crazy Dog, last one left alive, and he's going to get taken down. But Prime comes back into the game, uses the speed boost to just walk in all the way up front.
No.
Unfortunately, gets taken out. The speed boost just ran out once he reached the sort of end zone towards the end. But now 10 seconds left, and JK, Team Flash, they need to make a move. Wiggly Spoo is trying to do what he can to stay alive, but unfortunately gets taken out. JK coming back into it, and they're just not fast enough. Ace from the back, not able to support his teammate in time, and that's going to be another 2-0 for Team Umbrella? Or is this the first one for this map?
It's just the first one, yeah. So
2-0 the round.
So it's 2-1 on the best of 5, but on this fourth map, it is 1-0 at the moment in favor of Umbrella. So if they're able to take the next round, we'll be forced to the 5th tiebreaker round to decide who moves on to the grand final.
Yeah, that's gonna happen maybe or maybe not, because Team Flash, they still stand a chance at pushing us into a third round on this map. Apologies for the confusion. There are a lot of maps, a lot of numbers in my head right now, but basically, yeah, it's jumping beans. It's the fourth map of the bracket of the game, and
Yes.
the score right now is 1-0 on this map. If Team Flash are able to take on the next game, then it'll be a 1-1, and then they stand a chance at basically taking Team Umbrella 3-0. I mean, not 3-0, 3-1. But then again, that we don't see that happening so soon. Right now, Team Flash, they're kind of having a tough time, right? Why do you think that is, Phil?
I don't really know, to be honest. Like, they are executing their strategies pretty okay. It just seems to be a bit of a skedaddle once they get into striking range. Either they have a minor problem getting that shot off, or they have a huge issue like trying to make use of their numbers. Like, they do have numbers when they push forward. For example, just now they were 3-on-1 with the Pam, and they lost. Two of them were taken out, one survived, but they weren't able to walk in the ball. They weren't able to do anything of the sort. One would think from the previous rounds that they were playing, they would just get rid of the obstacle so that it would allow them to either walk the ball in or take the shot. But they are not doing that at all, which to me sounds like either one, they are basically hesitating too much now, and they were in too comfortable of a spot coming in 2 up, or they're just playing with the minds of Umbrella, thinking that they can actually take it, and then they'll come out with the pocket strat and finish off the game.
Well, I don't think this is a pocket strat. In fact, it's kind of more balanced this time around. Earlier on, we were seeing that they were playing a very objective game. They're just trying to focus on the ball, closing in the distance, and getting it in. Umbrella, knowing that that's how they've been playing so far, decided to switch things up, play a bit more defensively, and in fact, basically take down the members of Team Flash before they even get to walk the ball in. This time around now, Team Flash playing a little bit more balanced. We have Rosa, we have 2 sort of sharpshooters at the same time. We have the Jessie. Team Umbrella, though, they're just going to stick on with their current strategy, which is Colette, Byron, and Pam. Very strong. You got tank, you got support, and you also have DPS. It's the holy trinity. This is I guess, one of the most perfect brawler compositions in a sense. But Cootie Ace, he's not going to take any of that. As Rosa, he's just a tank, so he's just going to walk it in, do as much damage as possible to your face, takes down 2, and it's all up to the Pam player now to stay alive and ensure that Team Flash do not get too comfortable and push themselves up into a 4 position. Now that all 3 are back, it's a full reset, but at the same time, Team Umbrella, they have all 3 of their supers up. We have a bear, though, that's just going to be a thorn in their sides right now, and Wiggly's almost getting it in. Oh, and Killer 34 as Byron unable to defend. It's going to be Jay who scores the first goal. 1-0 right now, Phil.
Indeed. And again, now Umbrella, all they have to do is park the bus, and I think they might very well do that. They're already forming up a kind of a defensive structure. Crash Dog getting his shots off. He's going to get his super up very soon, and then going to put down the modulator to secure that. But here comes the counterattack, though. No need to go and park the bus when you're able to take out everyone on your opponent's team and push it in. So that's going to be that for that goal. So it's tied at 1-1.
Tied at 1-1, and that was just a perfect super from Prime. Though right now, 10 seconds left on the clock, and Team Flash, I mean, it's a 1-1 right now. We could go into overtime, but it's actually going to be Cootie Ace who manages to sneak the ball all the way up. I think it was a beautiful pass from Jay. And Umbrella were just too distracted by that bear. So 2-1, they managed to take away this round, which brings us into a 1-1 on jumping beans. We're gonna have a third round.
We're going to the tiebreak. We're going to the tiebreak round, and that's going to decide what happens next. Whether we're going to do a tiebreak map, and Umbrella will try and force their way through into the grand final, or, you know, our Team Flash going to pull a fast one over Umbrella and seal the deal and secure their spot into the grand final with a 3-1. Yeah. Yes, it will be a 3-1 if they do pick up the round. So it's anyone's game at the moment. You can see the game super close. Could go either way. We're on a knife's edge, and the tension is, of course, building slowly but surely. So this is what separates the boys from the men, the girls from the women, and the champions from the second placers, or also known as the first losers in some people's vocabulary. So it's all down to the wire right now, and it could go either way.
Second place is first loser. That's what they'll tell you in Navy SEAL Buds training. But yeah, I mean, not only is it first loser, yeah, it's kind of that the first, second, third place, whatever, what have you. At the same time, it's also, again, remind me, the prize distribution, Phil. We have the top prize for first place, which is $550. What is second? What does the first loser win?
300, 150, followed by $50. So just by qualifying for today, you already walk away with some cash. But that's a huge prize differential between, I would say, between second and third, right?
Difference of $150.
Yeah, 150, and then difference between first and second is a pretty sizable jump as well. So we're back into the game, and lineup wise for Umbrella, you know, we have Ray, we have Pam, we have a Tara, and on the other side we do have Kudies, also very similar, but JK is going to stick with Bali, so that's going to give him some AoE control. And Wiggly Spoo just chilling on that left side with Ems. So using it to great effect. Modulator is down, tries to sustain, does Crazy Dog, but they're going to get wiped, and now the respawn comes through. Prime, though, has spawn protection. He might be able to do enough damage, but they're going to walk it in. Good pass from Wiggly Spoo to Cootie Ace as they dealt with Prime, who's trying to hold on for dear life. Cootie Ace with the World Championship emote, and I think they feel like they're going to close it out.
Yeah, this could be kind of a pocket strat from Team Flash. I love this brawler composition, and it's one that Team Umbrella won't be able to counter. With that kill, they basically secured themselves the 2-0, and Team Flash managed to take this entire bracket 3-1. This is what they've been waiting for. They saved it up for that one round, and basically what happened was you have an Ems, you have a Barley, and you have Cootie Ace on max. What happens is Ems and Barley, like you said earlier on, very good at zoning, and it really keeps Team Umbrella kind of locked in a cage. You think about having a tanky brawler like Pam and everyone else that they had on the Team Umbrella roster. You know, they even had a max, but the thing is, you can't really have that freedom of movement when you're going up against an Ems and a Barley. You know, Barley, he's going to throw down those bottles on, say, the right side. And then meanwhile, Ems is spraying down perfume on the left side. You don't really have a place to escape to. If you walk to the right, you get taken out. If you walk to the left, you get taken out. And then in the center, you got Cootie Ace rushing you down with his speed boost. And at the same time, speed boost just makes you a really tough target to hit. So if you're playing Pam, you might have that nice little cone of damage that you get to shoot your bullets out in, but it's not easy. You know, once you hit that button, you're basically locked in one direction, and it allows for brawlers like Max to just dance all around you. And once they have that zoning, and Cootie Ace has a speed boost, he just walks the ball in. It's really quick, really fast. 3-1, and Team Flash takes it.
Yeah, so again, long drawn out battle. Umbrella almost pushing it to a tiebreak map, but Team Flash at the end of the day doing what they know best, putting out a absolute cracker of a lineup and sealing the deal, closing the game out when it most matters. So they head into the grand final. We're going to go after the break to Subtilizers versus Umbrella in the lower bracket final, and that will then determine who goes into the grand final to face Team Flash. So will Umbrella get their revenge? If they will Umbrella be able to get revenge if they're able to take out Subtilizers, or are Subtilizers going to get their revenge because they were knocked down to the lower bracket by Team Flash? Both teams want vengeance. They're both bloodthirsty, and they're going to fight it out for a chance at redemption when we get back from the break.
And we are back at it. It's the Brawl Stars Singapore Community Rumble April Cup #1. And we just saw Team Flash with just the craziest performances so far. Of course, though, they did get taken down by Umbrella, by a couple of notches here and there. But right now, it's going to be the lower bracket finals, right, Phil?
It is the lower bracket finals because Team Kaz was disqualified, unfortunately. So it is shortened the day slightly, but that's going to give both of these teams a chance at redemption, a chance at the vengeance that they, most certainly would want to evoke and enact on Team Flash. But they have to go up against each other to earn that chance. And that's going to be, once again, the whole of this week and the whole of next week as well, if I'm not wrong, is Brawl. So they really are going to have to give it their best if they want a chance at the grand final. So we're going to look at the brackets once again. As you can see, Umbrella with the walkover on Team Kaz. So Team Flash against Umbrella was in the upper bracket final. Team Flash able to close it out at 3-1, sealing a spot in the grand final. Subtilizers, of course, that means they get a walkover over Team Kaz in the lower bracket round 3, which means we are here at the lower bracket final straight away. And that is Subtilizers versus Umbrella, which is up next in a few short minutes.
That's going to be very, very hype. Subtilizer versus Umbrella, sort of familiar-ish names, but, some names in those teams aren't the most familiar. I mean, earlier on we had like an Ulti Bear or something happening. Crazy Dog, I don't believe we've seen that name before. Maybe it's some of the old players, but they changed their names. That could happen. We don't even know. But interesting bit of information, especially from one of our viewers in the YouTube stream right now. It's LMAO Brawl Stars, and he's saying that Killer34 is kind of a new player in the Brawl Stars Singapore scene. He hasn't really entered competitive, but he joined Umbrella, and he's actually one of the players that has potential to become someone who competes regularly within this entire scene. And I think they're definitely right about that, because we just saw him, when the stars line up for him, he knows exactly how to capitalize on that. He strikes when the iron is hot. That's basically what I'm saying. There was that one moment that we saw earlier against Team Flash. I can't quite remember what the map was, but there was a one row of obstacles, and Killer knew exactly when to use his magic hands when he was playing as Jean, right? Breaks open the obstacles, clear line of sight, shoots the ball in. It's things like that that make you a strong player. If you're playing Jean and you're just too focused on connecting your shots or just getting your supers, then you might miss opportunities like that. But not Killer. He knows how to play it. He knows how to think about the long game and essentially breaking things apart and then getting the goal for his team. It's stuff like that that actually puts Umbrella in a pretty good spot. Playing against a team like Subtilizers, on the other hand, I am not too sure. I don't believe we've seen these teams play against each other before, Phil.
No, we haven't, and that's going to be actually to our benefit. It's going to make it more entertaining, I think, for the folks out there. It's going to make it more entertaining for us as casters to commentate, and I'm looking forward to it, to be honest, because they both have very interesting playstyles. We've seen Umbrella was able to mount some form of defense, so I think on that basis, they're probably coming into this game with a bit of an advantage. But we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah. I mean, Subtilizers and Umbrella, in the previous month, which was the February Cup, they basically placed 5th and 6th, respectively. Subtilizers 5th, Umbrella 6th. And right now, we're going back into the game. It's going to be the map encirclement, fairly open, and that's why we're seeing both teams trying to zone each other out at the current moment. But Prime is just going to make things a lot tougher as he breaks obstacles open for the side of Subtilizers. In fact, some of the Subtilizers players, Regain, that's a familiar name. He has the Resonance tag still in his name. And LMAO is back into the game. He is playing Sandy, so what he wants to do is probably build up the super and then deploy the cloaking field, which allows him to push up forward a lot more carefully. Right now, though, They're just trying to zone out the remaining player on Umbrella's side. He's gone crazy dog, and that gives them the ball. They should be able to walk it in, and Igneous will be able to get the first goal, even though he was down to 660 points of health. Very close.
Straight from the get-go, Regain does have his super. They try to get into a favorable position as they use it to zone them out, but Umbrella are just too quick and too smart for it. Prime now chasing down all the way to the goal line, but are forced back as LMAO and Regain respawn. So they do have that spawn protection, and Umbrella are not going to force the fight. But Killer with the shot straight onto LMAO takes him down, almost down to his life, almost ends it there. But they are able now to push back. Prime and Killer sticking together. They need to be careful not to stay too close together, because that's going to allow Umbrella to wipe them pretty easily. But bang, another shot. Killer takes out Regain. Killer just going absolutely crazy with the shots. And now Regain has to stay up. He needs to stop. He needs to body block the shot. Unable to do so. Krasdog is going to be able to just walk it in pretty easily. And now we're going to go to overtime. 1-1 is the goal count. And let's see what they can do with no obstacles on the map.
Yeah, dude. 1-1 is the goal count, and 3 seconds is left on the countdown timer, and we are going into overtime. No obstacles, and I think this actually means it's a little bit more difficult for Subtilizers to push forward, but Umbrella, they're actually giving them a lot of space to work with. They're falling all the way to the back, and in fact just trying to build up their supers. In the long game, this will give them an edge over them. Once the Jesse player deploys his turret, that's going to be a lot tougher for Subtilizers, because then they have to devote some of their resources to taking out the turret. Right now, though, it's the super shot from Regain, and Killer tried to body block it but wasn't fast enough. And just like that, Subtilizers actually took away the first round.
So you can see it's not too crazy to either side. It's pretty balanced at the moment, and it's just back and forth, back and forth. All I can see is maybe a bit of hesitation from both sides when it really comes down to it. You know, they're very confident on the counterattacks, but they kind of just have a bit of a short misunderstanding of how to deal with how to make that switch between aggression and when to kind of ease back on the accelerator when they take out and wipe the enemy team. Because there is a time where when you do get that wipe, you're able to cover a lot of ground, but you have to also keep in mind that your opponent respawns, and when they respawn, they also respawn with spawn protection. So you want to be very careful not to commit so much that you're unable to take them out while they have that spawn protection, and then you get wiped and then they go for the counterattack. You need to be able to sustain, make enough ground, but don't get too greedy at that same time.
That's absolutely right. Make enough ground, but don't get too greedy at the same time. And that's kind of maybe what happened towards the end of that overtime. I think it was Umbrella, I think maybe they weren't exactly trying to get too greedy pushing up forward, but they were getting greedy in the sense that they wanted to play defense. They wanted to build up their supers and then come in with a full plan, full strategy, go in full force. But they weren't able to do that because, Subtilizers, they had their supers up. And once they have that, it's the super shot that you don't quite expect. You get the super shot, the ball shoots in at high velocity. You won't be able to dash forward and body block it. You got to think about it. It's kind of like what is it called in football? The free goal, the one where you got players in the front trying to body block it, and then one guy just figures out how to shoot the ball in.
A free kick?
Free kick, there we go. Dude, I'm not a football guy. But yeah, it's kind of like a free kick. And you have to think about, okay, which trajectory are they going for? This time around, though, switching things up a bit, we have Thanius on Surge, but he instantly gets taken out. And that is already one teleport being spent. So I'm going to hand this back to you, Phil, while I hide myself from the embarrassment of not knowing what a free kick is.
So here we go. No worries about that. Killer is going to be able to drop LMAO. Will be able to take out Regained as well. Phineas has leveled up. And now Crash Dog has to hold the line for now, as Prime will drop Phineas. So both sides just trying to get into a good position. Killer clears the ball down, and here comes the push from Subtilizers. LMAO is going to get dropped by Prime with that Sprout. Sprout wall goes up. Regain getting hit multiple times, and now Killer is going to sneak. He's going to try and ninja in. Does the speed boost? Almost does he? Is he able to walk it in? As there's a bit of a spike there. No, he's not able to do it as they had spawn protection and were able to stop him right at the very last moment. But good, valiant effort by Killer.
Yeah, I mean, even though he doesn't get the ball in, the fact that he's able to push it up so much up forward allows for his team to come back, respawn in time, and buy time for, you know, the full strategy to come back in full effect. And at the same time, it's taking seconds, shaving seconds off the countdown timer. And right now, Thania's last one left alive on the left. He gets taken out. It's all up to Regain to buy time for his teammates to respawn. LMAO back into the fray, and they'll be looking to go in for a full reset, but they have to be very careful about this. They're playing somewhat close range. Meanwhile, Umbrella are able to take them out, just connecting their shots and playing the long range engagements. This puts LMAO in a bad spot because as Sandy, he has to connect his shots, build up his Sandstorm, and he can only connect his shots when he's at close to mid-range. That's what we're seeing right now. And when he's super low like that, Umbrella, they're going to rush him down. 3v1, and in fact, it's down to a, well, 3v1 again. Regains the last one left alive, and 1 second left. It's going to be overtime, and they get the corner shot in. Umbrella getting the 1-0 on this second round. So actually, it's 1-1 right now on the scoreboard for this map.
It is, and so they're gonna bring it to a tiebreak again to see who can take this. So this is, I think this is gonna be the most action that we're gonna see for the whole of today. It is indeed really going to be an elongated match. I think both sides putting in their best effort, and it is showing off as we see what has happened. Right, it's both sides fighting back and forth, tooth and nail, inch for inch. You know, it's not easy at all, and they're both really laying everything because everything is on the line for them right now. You know, it is the lower bracket, but the good news is, if whoever loses this match still walks away with $150, and whoever wins this match either walks away with $550 or $300. So, yeah.
That's right. It's a difference of $150. And, you know, $150 split 3, maybe 4 ways. You're left with like $50 or less than $50. So not the best prize. And what you want is definitely to go for that first or second place. And right now, it's going to be the last round of this map, Encirclement. If we're taking a look at the strategies that both teams have been employing so far, it's kind of a little bit of a mix of both sides. You know, it's connecting your shots, it's going in with the speed boost, and Killer came really, really close to doing it. But at the end, it just came down to the fact that Umbrella were connecting their shots. They were able to keep Subtilizers at an arm's length away, you know, make sure that they're all the way at the back of their goal, and they weren't able to respond back to the way that the Subtilizers were playing. And that's exactly the kind of strategy that you want to have, especially on a map like this. You got the obstacles, it's kind of open in a sense, and I just don't think LMAO on Sandy is a good call. It's a very fun brawler to play, and you can come up with very interesting strategies surrounding the Sandstorm, you know, the cloaking field. But if you're unable to pull that off, if you get stopped in your tracks, it doesn't work out. And that's why we're seeing him switch out to Carl right now with the boomerang pickaxe. So both teams are back at it. It's kind of zoning, but in fact, what is this? Umbrella Prime is on the Sandy this time around, and Crazy Dog is pulling out Frank. What's happening here, Phil?
it's a tank strat, right? Get the ball onto your tanky brawler, and then try and force your way in.
Oh,
And that's
yeah.
exactly what's going to happen. The Frank has possession, walks his way in. Nobody has enough damage to take him out, and just like that, Umbrella are able to score a goal.
So strong. And at the same time, he's just really, really well supported by Killer right now. And Byron Killer really showing to be a very favorable new contender in this Brawl Stars SG scene. I mean, he can do it all. You know, playing Gene, playing Max with the speed boost came really close. And right now, he's playing support for his team as well. And he might get taken out, but Prime and Crazy Dog are still alive, and they're using the Sandstorm. Sandstorm will be very useful for Crazy Dog. He's going to break it apart, even gets the stun, and it's not even necessary because Prime just walks it in. A very nice goal from Umbrella, and they take away this first map 2-1, which puts us 1-0 on the overall scoreboard.
Yeah, that the Sandstorm super actually helped him for a bit because they lost sight of Prime as he was coming through right at that very end, and that allowed him to get a bit of a advantage in terms of distance between himself and his chaser, and that made all the difference when he went in for the shot because it gave him just enough runway to make that decision and score that goal. So like you said, they seal it out. They will take that first map 2-1, and we'll head into the second map very shortly as we just wait for them to get into the lobby.
Yeah, I mean, second map is going to be hopefully pretty darn different. But, I mean, if you were LMAO right now, I don't think this feels too good. I mean, we saw him in the chat earlier on, and, you know, it's very nice to see him interacting with us and everyone else in the community. But he was the one who was playing Sandy in that second round. And then he switched off, went to Carl, and then Prime comes back in playing Sandy. It's almost a statement like, hey, I can play Sandy better than you can. So, you know, it definitely hurts your ego a little bit. And going into the second map, that can't feel too good. And I think one of the reasons why Prime Sandy actually worked out a little bit better than LMAO, it's not necessarily because of skill or positioning or what have you. It's a little bit more of just the entire brawler composition as a whole, right? When you have a Frank on the board, you're kind of worried about, okay, he's the tank. Yeah, he moves a little bit slow, but once he gets the ball, he has that potential to walk it in, and we don't want to let him do that, especially when he's supported by a Byron in the form of Killer 34. So they're kind of focusing on the Frank player himself. Meanwhile, that allows for Prime to play really sneaky, hide in the bushes, connect his shots, build up his super, and then once he gets to the Sandstorm, like you said earlier on, they weren't quite sure where he was. And once he picks up the ball, it's just another easy goal. So LMAO, I think, you know, coming back into the second map, you're gonna want to have to do something to regain that confidence. Or if it wasn't even hurt in the first place, then you're pretty much A-okay. Right now, he's back on the Sandy. So I don't know. Do you think he's on tilt?
It's hard to say, but you know, it's all a matter. They're very confident with their strategies. They're very confident with their lineup. So at the end of the day, like, it might not be tilt because Subtilizer will be able to score that goal. So looks like they want to prove you wrong.
Yeah, dude. No tilt whatsoever. That in itself is a very confident play. But right now it's Igneous, and he's down really low. And we all know Byron is not the best defensive brawler because of damage over time. So it's going to be 1-1 right now. And let's see how the rest of this plays out, Phil.
Oh, it is rough. Both sides really putting it all on the line, putting in as much effort as possible. And they have to do so because, you know, it is a slot in the grand final that is up for grabs. Regain almost getting taken out, needs to be very careful to stay alive because it's just the smallest error, the smallest mistake is going to mean the difference between victory and a loss Krasdog comes through with the super, does the dive through, isn't able to hit anyone, but that allows them to zone out their opponents. And now Killer on that right flank, just trying to clear it off so he can buy some time for his team to get back up.
He is still alive, so I would say that he has done his job. Nice ball just in time to stop Regain from pushing the ball in, but he is just going to do so much damage, and they won't be able to defend. The goal is clear and open, and they get it in. That was... wow. Very close. Very close. It was a nice wall, but they weren't able to, just defend.
Yeah, so that will bring us to 1-0
on the
round count. So we're gonna go into round 2 in this best of 3 on this second map. Remember, Umbrella do lead us on the map count by 1-0. So Subtilizers definitely going to want to pick this up and stay in the game.
Yeah, definitely have to be careful. They don't want to lose. I mean, they already have that lead, so you want to build up on it instead of lose it, but you kind of have to be careful. I mean, LMAO just coming back into this game, I thought that maybe he would have, his ego might have been a little bit bruised, seeing as how Prime played Sandy a little bit better, but he just comes back to it, and he is still on Sandy. And he scored the first goal in that round, so let's see if he can do it again. Of course, though, a little bit of a Brawler composition switch up on both sides. In fact, Thanius is playing Byron. Umbrella, on the other hand, full-on switch up. We got Killer 34 and Tara this time around. Prime on Max, and that means that he's going to be able to take up a lot of space with his speed boost, but then again, has to be careful. Right now, they're in the bushes. They pretty much have control over it, but LMAO is looking to contest them for this very one ball. But Prime, speed boost in, he dashes forward, and he's going to walk the ball in. LMAO unable to defend, unable to take Prime out. It's kind of this duel between LMAO and Prime right now.
Lots of AoE supers going on in the middle side, and as that craziness will settle down, Krasdog will pick up a kill. So does Prime, will get an elimination as well. And that's going to open up the middle for them to get into a better position. Regain coming down in. He has his rim, but he does have that concealment from that super from LMAO. And now that's going to end. So now both sides have to be careful. Once again, the super goes down. So it's going to conceal them. But remember that Modulator is just in such a good spot for Umbrella. It's going to sustain Prime and Krasdog. They can just lock down that whole side as they wait for Killer to get his super. And once he pops the super, that's probably going to be 1 or 2 members down pretty easily. Pops the super. There we go. Regain gets taken out. Prime with a speed boost. Comes through. LMA is going to try and body block it, but unable to do so. Prime just with the speed boost once again, and he'll pick up that goal. So that'll bring it to 1-1. On this second map, we're going to go into a tiebreak.
What a turn of events. I mean, they just switched it up on Subtilizers, Team Umbrella. That is... wow, it works out for them. They had the Pam, they had the Max, and of course they had Tara as well, which just means you have to be a lot more careful around the bushes. And at the same time, once they had all of those AoE supers, it creates a lot of space. It zones out a lot of people. It's such a big, fast circle in the center of the map that you have no choice but to respect it. Once you see a super like that being popped, you're kind of relegated all the way to the back or maybe even the sides of the map, and that just allows for teammates like the Max player to use the dash, use the speed boost, and basically go in really fast, really aggressive. And at that point you're just trying to play defense. But when you have Thanius on Byron, you got Sandy, they're not the most high DPS or best defensive brawlers. It takes a little bit of time for their damage to come in. So this time around, they're switching things up. In fact, it's going to be LMAO on Tara. We have Regain on Rosa and Thanius still on the Byron. So maybe looking to support the tank, but let's see if that's going to work out right now. Thanius doing his best to keep Regained alive. He's down to 4,000, so half health, not too bad. But at the same time, he's kind of getting zoned out by Crazedog. He wants to take the fight to him, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. In fact, no, actually 2-for-1 trade as Killer comes in with a Sandy play of his
beautiful.
own. Oh, everyone gets taken out. They pass the ball to Killer, and it's going to be the first goal in.
That was amazing play from both sides between Killer and, of course, Prime as well, working with the 1-2, taking out Thanius. They knew that he wouldn't survive. He's a glass cannon, and just pummeled down the pressure onto him. So once again, the key is Regain needs to stay alive. If Regain doesn't stay up, they don't have their tank, and they're just open. They're just liabilities. LMAO, remember, is also pretty much a glass cannon also once you start to stack damage on top. And now they're in a bit of a sticky situation.
Ooh.
Killer, though, will bail them out, all three of them pummeling down the center. Remember, they do have that Sandy's super to conceal them, and that is going to allow them to take this second map. And so now they have Subtilizers on the ropes. It is 2-0 on that map count, leading into this third map. And they are this close away from KOing Subtilizers from the tournament with a flawless 3-0.
You said it, Phil. I mean, on the ropes, it could be a 3-0. And you know what it's going to take? It's going to take a clean shot from Subtilizers to be able to do that. And clean shot is the name of our very next map. It's, I mean, just take a look at this layout, right? We have the grass patches on the left and right side. In fact, it's kind of maybe a little bit of an L-shaped pattern, something like that. Meanwhile, you know, grass patches scattered all across the map, obstacles left and right. And in the center, it's just this really tight, narrow space where the ball is. You have to be careful about this one, because if you walk around these obstacles, it means that close range brawlers are going to have a field day within these grass fields. You're going to be able to stay in the grass patches and then play around those obstacles very well. You know, brawlers like Ems will be able to control space very well. Meanwhile, Sandy, maybe even a Shelly, you hide in there, you're going to be able to dish out a lot of damage. On the other hand, maybe if obstacles are how you want to center your strategy around, maybe you just go for something like a Frank or someone who can break apart those obstacles very easily, maybe even a Colt. We'll have to see how these teams are going to play, but so far, if I were to guess, I think we might see a lot more Sandy, because they seem to really enjoy Sandy, LMAO right now, and Prime too.
Right, and I mean, it's anyone's guess, right? Because this is gonna be basically it's all or nothing, and this is where we might see them, you know, just pull out the best lineup that they have just to close the deal to get into into the grand final. So I'm excited to see what Umbrella have in store. Subtilizer is going to have to dig deep if they want to force it to a fourth map and keep themselves in the running to get into the grand final. But at the moment, they're going to have to. They're up against a mountain, not just a molehill. It's a mountain and even a bit more on top of that to get back into this game.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be an easy climb for the side of the Subtilizers right now, but they're going to have to do it if they want to secure themselves a spot in the grand finals. So we're going to go right into it, and in fact, it's going to be Subtilizers playing very fast forward, very aggressive, Regained, using unfriendly bushes, and he's just pummeling them, pushing them all the way to the back. And in fact, this wall is actually going to help him out as he takes Prime down. The Sandy Sandstorm is up as well, but the wall, as soon as it goes down, it's going to be Crazedog who tries to do his best to zone them out. They want to regain possession over the ball, but in fact, kind of just zoning each other out at this point. Both teams over in the center trying to do what they can. Prime takes one out, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Regain going back into it. He's trying to take Crazedog down, but he in fact gets pushed away, which might actually help him. He's able to push the ball up forward. Right now, it's stuck in that top right corner. He wants to go in for it, pops his super, and Igneous passes it back to him, almost gets the corner shot, but misses. In fact, Prime takes back the ball, and now Umbrella are going to be pushing it up forward. Oh, they get taken out. It's team wipe. Regain needs to defend, and he won't be able to do so. Krastoff with the corner shot, and it's going to be 1-0 for now.
It is 1-0, and Umbrella, the angry emo coming out from LMAO. He's going to go all the way in. He jumps through, and it's going to be a trade between him and the rest of the team. Prime, though, would drop Regain. Thenius, the last one standing. They're going to try and put as much damage on him. He is going to go down, surely. And remember, like you said, the obstacle in the middle is taken out already, so they have plenty of space to do what they want to do. Magic Hands is available pretty soon on Killer. He just has to hit, I think, 1 or 2 more shots need to connect, and he's going to be able to then take that shot that he usually does. And let's see what we can let's see what they can do. Looks like they're gonna back it out for now and not force anything.
Satellites needs to force something, though. There's 5 seconds left on the clock, and if they don't score a goal right now, it's going to be Umbrella who takes away the first round. There you have it, match over. And yeah, this cannot feel good for the Satellites. It's just 1-0, and now they're, we said they were on the ropes. Now they're really, really on the ropes. If they lose this round, that's it. That's it for them.
Yeah, it's a really hard clawback. It's not impossible, right? It's not a foregone conclusion. It's not done yet. So let's get that out there. But it is very hard, very hard for them to get back into it. But anything is possible, man.
I love how you're like, let's just put that out there. It's not over yet. It's not a foregone conclusion, but it's really hard. It's like, I'm gonna give you that one little light of hope there. Show you the door and then shut it right in your face. Like, it's really hard. If you want to come back, you can, but it's so darn difficult. But you are right, it is really difficult. So this is the one where if they have a pocket strat, now is the time to pull it out. If anything, this is the one where they go full Super Saiyan. Everyone in the chat, give them your energy and they can build up the Spirit Bomb. I'm showing how big of a nerd I am. First, I don't know what a free kick is, and then I make anime references. Oh man, what is going on today?
Man, it is.
It's just judging me like sad. Quack is sad.
Well, it's rough, but we're gonna stick with it. We're in for a penny, in for a pound, and let's see whether Subtilizers can claw their way back into the game. Just waiting for them to get into the lobby. We should be into the game in a few short moments, but it's close to 1. Hope everyone's having a great day so far, and it's almost lunchtime. Maybe it was lunchtime and some of you were tuning in and having your lunch already. But yeah, it's been a pretty cool day. Apart from Team Kaz's unfortunate disqualification, the matches have been pretty tight. I mean, Flash has gone through more or less, got through their first match pretty easily. Their second match, Umbrella put in quite a bit of a fight. Even though the score is 3-1, Umbrella really had them right to the very end. And then, Team Flash closing it out like they usually do. So,
yeah, dude, I would love to see it. Umbrella against Team Flash again, but right now, Subtilizers, once again, this is their last life in this entire tournament. They need to make everything count right now. Regained, still, they have a Sandy in play. In fact, it's going to be LMAO taking the fight to Killer right now, both on Gene. But the ball has been passed over to Thanius, who is on Jack. So Jack, he's able to do this sort of AoE close range melee damage. But that's the thing, it's close range and he won't be able to chase Prime down. It's just going to be a nice little shot down the center. In fact, the ball just rolled right over the line, and unfortunately the Subtleizers players weren't able to respawn in time to stop it. So back to a 3v2 now as Umbrella goes in really aggressive. One guy already taken out. Killer makes it an even 2v2. Thanius tries to put the ball into the corner but gets taken out. And all three players from Subtleizers are gone. Regain back in the game, and he needs to play defense. Wait for your full team to respawn before you go back into the fight.
Yeah, they are. They really have to be careful how they go about this round. But already Prime comes in with the Mortis, triple hit, gets the elimination, gets the heal up as well, and then will disappear into the grass to just regen and basically get out of the line of sight of Subtleizers and keep them guessing, because they never know where he's gonna turn out. He comes to, goes for another jump, gets 2 hits onto LMAO, but misses his third as he pivots around to Regained. LMAO will be able to push the ball up slightly, but then gets taken out by Killer. Killer takes out Regained as well, and now they are running straight down the middle. Krasdog goes in for the shot. Wow! Goes for a mini flick, puts the ball out, and gets that away from the chaser, regains possession, and goes for the shot. Amazing techers from them, and just like that, it's over. Umbrella are able to dispatch, I think they have, right? They've dispatched Subtleizers 3-0. Yes. Yeah, they've done it. They have dispatched Subtleizers 3-0, and so your grand finalist number 2 is Umbrella. They're gonna have a chance at revenge, at redemption against Team Flash. Remember, they almost brought it to a tiebreak, to a 2-2 tiebreak into a 5th map against Team Flash. So whether Team Flash, you know, there might be a bit of a quake in their boots. We'll find out as we get into the grand final. We'll go to a short break and we'll be back with the grand final.
Hello and welcome back to the Brawl Stars Singapore Community Rumble. We are your casters. Hey, I'm Quack, and above me is Death Adder, aka Phil. Phil, what time is it right now?
It's a time. Oh no, I can't say that on stream. It's not. It's not a certain beverage time, but we are at the grand finals for the first April Cup, the first Brawl Stars Singapore Community Rumble Cup Rumble 1, and it is, of course, the whole of this month is Brawl Ball. But we have Team Flash going up against Team Umbrella. Almost went to a fifth map in that previous matchup in the upper bracket final, but they've earned their chance. They've earned their shot at vengeance, at revenge here in the grand final, and it could go either way. I don't think we can really put a prediction on this because Umbrella are coming in hot. Remember, they did have to go through subtilizers, so Team Flash don't have a warm up technically in terms of a competitive scrim, and so maybe that might be the slight advantage to Umbrella coming into this grand final. Just based off the fact that they're coming in hot. But then again, Team Flash strategy-wise maybe have a slight advantage there. So multiple ways at looking at it, but I think it might come down to the wire once again.
True that. I hear what you're saying. Umbrella, they might be coming into this hot. They've been warmed up a bit. Team Flash, on the other hand, maybe not so much. But I feel like Team Flash are guys who basically live and breathe Brawl Stars. Just to give you a little bit of statistics on what they've done so far as Team Flash under this sort of new roster. I mean, first of all, if the bracket that we just saw on screen wasn't enough for the viewers, seeing all those 2-0s, the 3-1 against Umbrella in the upper bracket finals, Team Flash, they're also playing to secure themselves a spot in the Brawl Stars World Championship 2021, and there's only one slot for the entire, I think, Southeast Asian region. So far, there are monthly qualifiers or something, and Response has been tweeting out these bracket updates of how Team Flash has been performing so far. And no disrespect to Oliver if he's still in the chat, but Team Flash has beaten Biro Resonance, which is Oliver's team, Aaron Brawl's team, 3-0. Team Flash has been beating them 3-0 before. They've even gone up 3-0 against their old team, PSG Esports. They're basically, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1 for the entire Southeast Asian region. Team Flash might actually be the best Brawl Stars team in the Southeast Asian region right now. And you can follow them on Twitter, Cootie Ace, JK_1999, or CZK Brawl, even Wiggly's Brews on Twitter, and they regularly post these updates and stuff here and there. It's incredible to see how strong these Team Flash players really are exactly. So going up against Umbrella right now, statistically, the odds don't really favor Umbrella if I were to speak frankly. But I want to see Umbrella, do as much as they can. They did not go down without a fight. In fact, they took one round off of Team Flash earlier on. If they can do that and then some, do even more against Team Flash, that could hurt Team Flash's confidence. We've seen Team Flash fall before to teams like Icy Doppin, or I think it was Grassmud Doppin, months ago. So it's not impossible, and they can definitely do it.
Yeah, as much as we want to I mean, they do have the experience, and they kind of, from a record standpoint, they probably do have that advantage, does Team Flash. But Umbrella, I'm not going to count them out yet. They could be the Rocky Balboa of this match. They brought Flash they brought Flash right up to the ropes. All that was missing was a bit of finishing, and they could have 1-2 bang bang Muhammad Ali them. But unfortunately for them, just had a bit of a slip towards the end. So just a bit of a unfortunate kind of slip up towards that finishing off to bring it to a tiebreak map. But I think they're gonna be ready for Team Flash in this grand final once we get it started.
Yeah, might be in store to see some rope-a-dope, bob and weave, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee kind of thing that we're having here. But that brings us to the next topic, which is the maps. It is Brawl all throughout, but the maps themselves are very important. The maps can dictate whether you're going to go for a long-range strategy or just close range, play Mortis, dash in really fast, really fast and furious. We don't know if that's going to happen, but knowing the maps will be able to let us know whether it's going to be that sort of thing. The very first map, it's going to be Field Goal. Another map that we don't see too often. Phil, if you just take a look at the map layout, it's kind of, I don't know how to describe it. You got the ball in the center, a little bit open, but then you got like this square-shaped box of obstacles all across the map. You have it on the left and right, you have it on your opposing goal sides as well. And now I'm excited because we have Stu, the stunt dude, in the game. It's Response and Killer, and they're going at it. And you're going to be able to see how crazy this brawler is. But Jay, he lands a really nice shot. It bounces off, and it's going to be the Piper that flies away. But Killer gets taken out. Response has his super. And he's just trying to, let his health regen. And he goes in for the double dash. Takes Crazy Dog out just in the flash like that. That's what you want to see from a Stu player. Oh, and this is going to be tough. Crazy Dog needs to keep the ball away from Team Flash, but he gets taken out instantly. And that is just quick. 1-0 right now on the scoreboard.
That is interesting.
Oh my god.
Let's see what they can. What? Wow. Oh my.
Did you see that?
I did see that. Why don't you just recap what happened?
That is some kind of Muhammad Ali, bob and weave, Mike Tyson, just absolute insane dodging mechanics and response, dashing left and right. And it's not an easy task to pull off either, because you need to be able to connect at least one shot before you get your super back up. But okay, despite that, he does get taken out. Prime wants to, go in for the full reset, let his teammates respawn. And then again, it's going to be Response popping his the gadget. Basically what it does is you deploy it, and anyone who's in the AoE gets a nice little speed boost. So putting it towards your goal post is pretty strong for defense. You respawn, and you can use that speed boost to body block shots just in time. Very nice, but so far he's going to get taken out. And in fact, it's going to be Prime and the rest of the Umbrella roster trying to regain control over the ball and space in the center of the map. But Jay is actually doing a very good job of connecting his shots and pushing them all the way back. Wiggly's Poo as well. And now with this Sandstorm, it allows for Response to push up really aggressive forward. 1-0 still, and Umbrella, 10 seconds left. I don't think they stand a chance at pushing the ball back. In fact, it's going to be a 2-0 as JK scores the final goal. Team Flash now takes the first round off of this first map.
That is crazy, man. We knew that it was gonna be fast and furious, but looks like they have that strategy. We didn't see Stu the whole day, and finally we do. And it seems like both teams had the same idea. Both wanted to execute very similar strategies and kind of get the surprise win. But again, Team Flash just slightly higher caliber of player when it comes to the full execution of the match. Though it has to be said, earlier on, Prime was very close to scoring a goal. Just that, unfortunately, he wasn't on a max, so he didn't have that extra speed boost to get to the goal in time.
Well, regardless of that, we're going to go back into it, and we still have that Stu v Stu mirror match. In fact, this time it's going to be Killer who comes out on top, takes out the speed booster, and now they're trying to zone out Wiggly's Poo. Connecting another shot will be Crazy Dog as he's playing Jesse, which is very lovely. You know, allows him to build up towards his turret. At the same time, it bounces shots off, and that just means that the remaining Team Flash players have to be a little bit more careful about that. But JK pops the Rattled Hive, connects a very nice snipe shot onto Crazy Dog. That's one player down, and it's all up to Killer now to defend. He gets taken out by Jay again, and Crazy Dog does what he can. Pushes the ball away, stays alive, allows for his teammates to respawn in time. So they're going to go in for a full reset now, but the ball still is in a very precarious position for Team Umbrella.
Just need to be careful about their movements on them in the middle of the map, and they maybe need to take out the middle obstacle. But as I say that, Prime will just walk in a shot pretty easily. No one respawned in time, and so Team Flash up against now they need to tighten up their. They do have control of the middle. Wiggly's Poo almost going down. JK will take out Crash Dog. Killer going down as well. And another shot. Wiggly's Poo knows what the end range is for his shot. Takes it and gets it into the goal. So that's 1-1 on the scoreboard now in terms of goal on the goal count. And again, they now are back to vying for position in that middle section.
Going back at it. Response tries to do what he can, builds up his super again, but unfortunately gets taken out in the end. But JK still very much alive, still doing damage to Killer 34, even though he's down really low. Both teams 1-1 right now, and this could be an overtime. 10 seconds left is the timer, and Jay just again connecting his shots. It's another snipe down. It's back to a 3v2. And now he's just trying to stay alive. Once those obstacles go down, it's going to be an open playing field for Jay, the man. One more shot and Killer's dead. And Response knows this. He's going back into the dash. He's dashing back and forth again and just keeping Umbrella on their toes. Now, really low. He's going to stay alive, wait for his full team to respawn back to it. 3v3. It's a full reset. And both teams trying to do what they can. Crazy Dog, though, if he's able to connect his shots, that's going to do a lot of damage. But in fact, he's going to get taken out. Wiggly's Poo doing a lot of damage right now. 3 stripes on the board, and he has a high DPS output. In fact, it's high movement speed as well. And the timer is still ticking. Oh, they have... I don't know how much time they have left, but this is not going to be pretty for Team Umbrella unless they push the ball up forward. We might even see a draw. There it is. 10 seconds left, in fact, and Wiggly's Poo has his 4th upgrade. They're going into it now. It's a 3v2. Turret goes down, and Response should get taken out, but they are still very much alive, and it's a bit of a stalemate. Prime just pushes forward and ensures possession over the ball, making sure that neither team gets a goal. So it's going to be a draw for now, but I believe it's still Team Flash with a 1-0 for now.
For now, that's the key word to focus on. And yeah, they're in the lead, so they will take that first map. And Umbrella need to step it up a bit, you know. Flash showing that they're not the gods that one would think they are, right? They're not untouchable, and Umbrella just have to keep that in their head, you know. They need to just keep that hope up. Keep reminding themselves, hey, we were able to bring Flash, you know, down to the tiebreak in our previous matchup. So, regardless of what it was happening now, we can always come back. We always have that hope. We always have that mindset. If they can keep that, if they can keep their mental reset going and just take it round by round, they can get back into this game. There's nothing stopping them from doing so.
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, I have to say, I have been simping for Team Flash a little bit. Response, just insane mechanics, just the microplay of knowing how to dash back and forth playing as a Stu. That's not an easy feat, first of all. But second, yeah, they're not just the gods that we perceive them to be. Team Flash, they can be taken down, and Umbrella are definitely showing that. In fact, it's kind of like that Batman versus Superman scene, and Umbrella are basically saying, "Tell me, do you bleed?" So we're gonna see if they're able to put more cuts into Team Flash, but right now it's in fact going to be a 3v1 as Team Flash already takes out 2 players. No more Stu, and they're connecting their shots. Response just gets a goal in. Yeah, they're not bleeding yet.
Now with they finally will take out Response's super, and that's going to allow them to slowly push up, and they're able to take out everyone. Wigglyspin needs to stay alive, but Prime will drop him, and so that's going to open up the shot angle for Killer. Killer will get that goal in, and again it's down to 1-1.
Down to
JK
1-1
on to
and
Prime.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Supers already they already take out every single player from Umbrella, but thankfully Prime, I think, responds in time, and they're looking to play defense right now. Prime instantly gets taken out, but he does pop his super, which buys a little bit of time. But Response now, again as Stu, he's going to be dashing all over the place, and just like that, as soon as he dashes away, Jay comes in, they take out the players from Team Umbrella, and he dashes back in, secures the goal, and it's a 2-0 for this first map.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? When you have that Barley, the minute you get forced and you get locked into your goal, once he's able to drop his super down, you can't get out. And and the thing is, because the system allows you to have your AoE even in the goal, the minute you spawn, you're already taking damage. So if he times it right and he times his shots right, like there's no way to not take damage as you respawn, and that makes it really hard for you to escape. If you can't escape, you can't get past the goal line, you die. It's just you get put into basically. It's a mechanic that Flash have taken advantage of. It's essentially an untouchable spawn camp, is what it is, and that has allowed them to secure the first map.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, there's this sense of, kind of maybe abusing. I wouldn't say abusing, but utilizing the game's mechanics and playing these really sound positional strategies, right? We talk about how they're using the AoE from Barley. You might have a little bit of spawn protection as soon as you respawn, but the thing is, you want to avoid that little splash damage, so you push out of your spawn, but as soon as you do that, you're leaving yourself exposed to your opponent's fire, and that is the tough thing. You got the Barley player, you got Response, who is still just doing an incredible job on Stu, and at the same time, JK, he's been landing his shots as B incredibly well. I mean, he's super accurate with that thing, and he's just taking out players left and right. Right now, we're going to the second map, and that's going to be Backyard Bowl, and they are still playing this similar brawler composition. We're seeing the Stews, we're seeing sharpshooters as well, but we're also seeing a Crow on Crazed Dog, and that's the one that I want to keep an eye on. He is getting zoned out right now. He's instantly deleted. It's all up to Prime in a 1v3, and he gets deleted as well, but does buy enough time for his teammates to respawn. So this is going to be a little bit of a defensive game for Team Umbrella at the moment.
they'll pop that damage booster there, and so once again they're stuck because they have that extra speed boost, also, you know, that extra
Oh,
damage, and Team Flash once again have them stuck in spawn. So it's really rough for Umbrella right now. They cannot allow themselves to be put out of position, and the minute they are, then you know Team Flash is just gonna capitalize on that. Wiggly Spoo almost going down. Killer so close to taking out Wiggly Spoo and opening up that avenue of attack, but just like that, he gets taken out. Crash Dog will get dropped by Response, and again Flash. They are like sharks swimming around in the water. They smell blood, and they do know that they have Umbrella up there between a rock and a very hard place. And now all they have to do is just go for another wipe. Damage booster already popped down on the ground, and Krasnov goes for the jump. He gets taken out, but he'll be able to drop JK. So that's going to buy him a bit of time. And Response now just sticking around. He's going to be able to regen. He knows that Prime is on the other side of that barrier, but he doesn't have any backup, and wisely will make his way back towards his teammates.
yeah, they're going back into it, and Umbrella, right now, the ball is pushed up towards Team Flash, but they have to be wary because Wiggly Spoo, while he is getting focused down, just because he has the damage booster up, he's able to output a lot of damage as long as his shots connect. Meanwhile, you have to worry about JK as well as Response, who are very slippery. And it's going to be Killer, who tries to sneak it past. He actually manages to do so. What happened there, Response? He actually was standing right in front of him, but somehow the goal went past him. And now we are possibly, actually, yes, definitely going into overtime. 3 seconds left and all the obstacles will disappear. Now we're going into it. This is an open playing field for Wiggly Spoo as well as JK. Not to mention, JK might still have Rattled Hives up his sleeve, and that's going to create a lot of space. Response now just dashing back and forth, and that's going to be the entire field open. Crazed Dog unable to defend. In fact, goes for a super, and that just is going to be an easy goal for Team Flash. 1-0 for now on the second map.
Indeed. And Team Flash is really starting to secure their lead and really cement their position in this grand final. But Umbrella just need to find out how, you know, to... In the previous matchup, they were able to make sure that they didn't get stuck in spawn, and they were really good at not getting too greedy when it came to their counterattacks, especially when they wiped Team Flash back then. Now they just need to kind of understand how do they get middle control back, and then from there are able to create a platform for them to then score that goal. And at that moment, it's not working out for them because they're getting wiped and then they're getting stuck in their spawn and basically are getting spawn camped by Team Flash. So what do they need to do? Do they need to go for a tankier strat? Do they need to go for a full glass cannon? Do they need to go with, I don't know, give Killer the magic hands once again and just focus on taking out obstacles? Seems to be the way to go for them so far. They are able to exploit that really well. I don't know, really, at the end of the day, because the minute you do that, Team Flash always seem to have a lineup that is ready to answer whatever you change up to.
I'm with you because, I mean, earlier on, it was Team Umbrella and they were playing these three very squishy brawlers. You know, it was Stu, it was Crow, and I can't remember what the last one was, but it was pretty squishy as well. And I think that's why they got wiped out. So definitely a brawler composition switch this time around. In fact, it's going to be Crazed Dog with the magic hands this time around. We'll see if that pays off. But we also have Brawlers changes on the side of Team Flash as well. You know, we got Wiggly Spoo on Crow, and we got JK on Piper, still sniping and creating a lot of space. In fact, he's going to take down obstacles on the side of Team Umbrella. They allow for JK to build up his super time and time again. He's going to be able to push up forward and then break open the one row of boxes right in front of the goalpost. And that's going to be an easy line of sight for Team Flash to shoot the ball through, and they have to be very careful of that. Right now, though, it's Response keeping them on their toes as he snuck up on the top right corner. They've come in with a full respawn, 3v3 now, but they're still having a difficult time connecting their shots. It's going to be a nice magic hands, and he takes one out, but the speed boost goes away, and it's Killer again, who manages to, even though getting shot down, he gets a nice corner shot onto Team Flash's goal. So 1-0, and Umbrella are looking pretty good.
They're coming back in, and they're starting to take a couple more risks, but also are able to get that strategy in place. But as I say that, Team Flash able to come back with a goal of their own. And it really is down to taking out those obstacles. Umbrella now are realizing that that is the key, and they're sticking to that game plan. So you can see, the minute they get they open up the angles to the goals by a slight bit, it's really to their benefit compared to that previous game, as you could see. And now countdown time is going to go down from 15 seconds. It's going to go into overtime, and that means all the obstacles are going to disappear. JK with the mines goes for the jump up with that super. Does take out more obstacles, but misses right in front. And now all the obstacles are gone. He tries to go for a cheeky shot, does response, but Prime able to be wise enough to read that. And now JK, ball back to response. Response very low on health. It's going to be a 3v1 now. As the respawn comes through, Crazy Dog with the long range snipe, able to now get that ball down to the middle area. The respawn will come through from Wiggly Spoo. And now Umbrella have to be very careful about how they approach this. Remember, they do have that speed boost up. Does Team Flash, so they can go in for the body blocks. Umbrella now need to be careful, and is unable to get his super off. So now Team Flash in a stronger position. 14 seconds to go. 13, 12, 10, 9. And they're both, I don't know what's gonna happen. They force it through. Killer almost going for the last minute shot, but we are going to tie. It is a draw. And so they force it once again to another round.
Not too bad. Things were looking kind of iffy, kind of scary for Team Umbrella towards the end. There was a time where the ball was just so much up forward towards their goalpost, and Team Flash weren't letting up. But as soon as Umbrella managed to secure themselves a nice little moment of respite, they came in with a team wipe, and Team Flash's members might have respawned in time, but they knew, okay, we might have taken them out. This is not the opportune moment. We don't have a secure shot yet. If we push up forward now and we get wiped out, then we might lose the round. We might lose the game. In fact, what we're gonna do is to park the ball in the top right corner, right? Make sure that Team Flash do not get their hands on that ball whatsoever. And then when we have a little bit more time and space to push it up forward, maybe the countdown timer is down to 10 seconds. Maybe it might have been a draw, but they get to live to fight another day. And that's really what Team Umbrella did very well back towards the end of that overtime round. So it's still a 1-0 so far on the overall count for this map?
Yeah, so it's a technically now it is a 1-0 if you count the draw. So just waiting for this next one. So Team Flash lead 1-0, and we will go into it. So interesting. We do have JK on something that we don't usually see.
That's right. He's on Brock, and in fact, he's using Brock with I believe it's the AOE star power. So as soon as his rockets blow up, they're gonna leave that nice little area of effect splash damage. It does damage over time if you stay in it, and it's not that big, not as wide as Barley's, but it's enough to ensure that players aren't able to stay in a spot for too long, and that just means trouble for Umbrella. They're gonna have a tough time defending. In fact, it's gonna be Prime as well as, if I can't see that name, it's Crazy Dog on 8-bit. So they're trying to play a little bit more defensively this time around. We have sharpshooters on both sides, and Prime on Sprout just tells me that he wants to put up the wall and play a little bit more defensively. In fact, try to zone them out with his sprout bombs, but so far it's a little bit tough. And at the same time, if you're looking at Team Flash, they still have Stu on, response on Stu, and it's going to be JK. I mean, as soon as you see that Brawler composition, you know that that's what he's going to go for. He's going to use his super to break apart the obstacles, and Stu, response on Stu with the speed boost, he's going to be able to dash into 4 positions and get like really nice shots into the goalpost of Team Umbrella. So this is going to be tough for Umbrella to defend against. They need to play very carefully and position themselves well enough to take down Team Flash's members and then push up forward. But so far, they haven't been able to do so. Killer34 just dashes right in, instantly gets taken out, and Prime and Crazy Dog are trying to keep them tucked away towards the back, but they're able to push themselves up forward. Team Flash doing a very good job, and they have a very sound Brawler composition right now.
Yeah, maybe a better choice instead of the 8-bit would be a Colt, to be honest, so that you can clear the obstacles, and also you're able to lay down quite a bit of damage compared to 8-bit. Even though 8-bit does have that damage booster, I don't think it helps as much as because JK, the ability to clear obstacles is such a huge part of the game, and just like that, Flash are going to be able to take out the second map. So we go to 2-0 on the grand final map count. We are going to go into the third map, and yeah, it is dicey. Umbrella really need to figure out what they want to do. Great call by JK to switch up, and yeah, maybe Umbrella want to do something similar. I think a Colt might be the answer for them, in terms of both being able to get damage down, but also being able to clear obstacles at the end of the day.
Maybe, quite possibly, but I mean, despite that, right now we're going into the third map, and as we've said before, Team Umbrella are right now really, really on the ropes, and I mean, we see signs of life in them, but on that previous map, it just wasn't quite working out. I mean, Team Flash had the better strategy, better composition, and they were just connecting their shots. Once JK builds up his super, once even just Response, who's just phenomenal plays on Stu right now, it's seemingly unstoppable. The next map, it's going to be a party. It's going to be Winter Party, and we've seen this map earlier today before, and it's the one where Team Flash, it was just like the very first game of the day, and they instantly won like 2-0. We didn't even get a chance to cast that one, and I don't know, it might be the same thing again. This is a map that's pretty, I want to say, small, and there's that big patch of grass in the center in the shape of a diamond. It's something that favors Team Flash's style, which is to play very fast, very aggressive. In fact, the one where they played Frank worked out very well, but right now, they don't have QDAs. In fact, it's going to be Wiggly's Poo on Rosa, and he's just going to walk the ball in. Already 1-0. This is Team Flash's map, and it's going to be tough for Umbrella.
Oh, yeah, really hard. But the one thing that could help them, oh my goodness. First round is gone already to Team Flash, and they definitely want to close it out very quickly. But as I was saying, the one thing that could help Umbrella is the grass, because that would help conceal their movements. But Flash, they it's rough, right? Because for them it's very hard for Umbrella to come back, because Team Flash always have they have that step up ability, the very quick acceleration when it comes to that last round, when they really need to seal the map out, right? When they need to close the deal, they always seem to have that extra bit of oomph in their strategy, in their execution. And we've just seen that just now, right? It is the same thing that happened at the beginning of the day when they tried to get the early rounds very, very quickly. We barely had any time to say anything, because that's how quick the execution was. It really was, very blitzkrieg-like, very shock and all like. And I don't know how it's going to happen in the second round. Let's see whether they are able to make quick work of Umbrella, or Umbrella are going to be able to hold their own.
That would be it, but it seems like the Blitzkrieg strategy will not work out this time, as Team Flash have been forced to pick different brawlers, but despite that fact, it's just going to be another team wipe. They get these kills really early on, and Response is just doing such a good job. I mean, even using his bombs to blast pack himself away into the corner, and he's also blowing out the obstacles on Team Umbrella's side. Right now, they're kind of playing defense, and Response and JK, they're just trying to stay alive, and even kiting Crazy Dog. He's trying to use a grass smash to push himself forward, but as soon as he does that, it's going to be point-blank damage for JK. Instantly taken out, and now Team Flash are pushing themselves forward again.
Response on that left flank, slowly moving up. Wiggly Spoo and JK gonna back him up pretty quickly, pretty soon. And as I say that, he goes for the shot, but luckily for them, Prime is alive. The Response with a bit of a sad face emote coming out. But now Umbrella, now they can mount their attack. Let's see what they can do. They have possession of it. Crash Dog down into the middle, Killer doing a lot of damage onto Wiggly Spoo and Response, forcing them back into the goal area. And now it is a 3v2. The respawn is going to come through for JK, so he does have spawn protection. That's going to allow them to try to clear the ball. Will they be able to get there? Lots of suppressing fire happening onto all of them, especially with that with the Poco. And now as a full unit, they're going to be able to push through. Misses his shot, does Killer. And he should be taken out pretty soon. No, he's able to dodge, weave in and out of traffic.
Ooh.
And all of those shots from Team Flash. So once again, showing the skill. Very underrated player is Killer. Krasdog coming down the middle. Does she have Shelly? He does have the super, so he can go in and just have massive splash damage. But he's going to wait for his teammates 10 seconds on the clock until overtime begins. And they're just waiting now. I think maybe they're waiting for Prime to get his super up, potentially. And now they get a lot of damage in. Super goes out, all that slow onto them. Damage coming through also. Prime is ready for the sustain. But they have fully healed themselves up once again. And so Umbrella in a better position right now, Quack, but I don't know whether they can hold on.
Yeah, I don't think that Team Flash are able to hold on. He manages to push a ball away, and that is Wiggly Spoo respawning in time, but eyes on Killer right now. He super shots in over, passes the ball, but does not get it into the corner. In fact, it's going to be the full body block, full unit from Team Flash, and now that it's a team wipe, they might be able to get a super shot into the corner. Nice dash from Crazy Dog. Blocks the ball, and now it's very, very scary. Team Umbrella doing what they can. It's all up to Killer to hold them at bay. In fact, he's going to try to push up really aggressively forward. Tries to dash in and gets the corner shot. It's Killer, and he gets the goal for Team Umbrella. 1-1 right now. What a shot.
He is their savior at the moment. Cometh the day, cometh the hour, cometh the man. And Killer definitely showing off that he has what it takes when it comes to the professional circuit. So everyone said he was an underdog. Everyone says he's a really well-skilled player. Can really make a difference, and he's showing that right now. He is stepping up to the plate, and he is answering the call. And he will be the key. I think he'll be the key player if Umbrella are able to force their way back in. So, whoa, it's getting hot in here.
It is. It certainly is. Oof. And yeah, just gotta hydrate yourself a little bit as we go into the next round for this map, Winter Party. So if you've just joined us, this is the Brawl Stars Singapore Community Rumble. Right now, it's the grand finals, so things are very tense. But of course, if you want more Brawl Stars action, we have the second April Cup happening next week. So like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you will be able to enjoy all that lovely, lovely Brawl Stars action. Also, there's the Discord channel to join if you are looking to participate. I don't know, maybe that's where Killer found out about this entire scene. Who knows? But so far, he's been doing such a great job, and I love watching him play Stu right now. He's even going in for an aggressive dash, tries to take Wiggly Spoo out. In fact, he's pushing the ball up forward. Nobody's there to block him, and he's going to bounce it off the wall. first goal for Team Umbrella, all thanks to Killer.
They're coming back into it. Don't count them out. And that's what we've been told before, you know. But we see Team Flash once again here. Respawn's going to walk it in. You'll get that shot off as they get that team wipe. And now it is all or nothing. Quack. Umbrella need to score this goal.
Let's see if they're going to be able to do it. 1-1 right now, so one more is all they need. And the ball is up towards them. Oh, but Response misses the shot. And it's going to be Killer who pushes it back forward towards the center of the map. Very close. They almost died. And they come back into it just as soon as their teammates respawn back in the game. 3v2 now. And Killer should be back pretty darn soon. But Prime is trying to push them away. In fact, he's just throwing his body right into Team Flash's roster. So they're back into the game. Prime is gone, but it's going to be a super shot from Response. Right down the corner towards the left. And just like that, it's going to be Team Flash. They managed to take this.
They've done it. They have taken the April Cup #1. So if you just joined us, unfortunately for you, we have concluded the grand final. Team Flash with a brilliant lead and a brilliant execution in the grand final. Take it 3-0 on the map count. It is the Brawl Stars Singapore Community Rumble April Cup #1 or final #1. Final #2 will be happening next week. So, you know, do prepare for that. How the new format works is a game mode is locked in for every month. And this month's game mode is Brawl Ball. There's a total prize pool of $2,400 for the whole month, which means 1.2K in cash for each weekend. And here is the brackets. Once again, Team Flash with pretty much a very, very easy way all the way to the grand finals. And Umbrella, you know, they did their best in the upper bracket final. Very close match against Team Flash, 3-1. Almost brought it to a 5th map. And then in the lower bracket, you know, just bulldozed through Subtilizer. Came up against Team Flash in the upper bracket final, where we thought maybe Umbrella would have had a bit of a lead because they were coming in hot, but Team Flash just dispatching them in way too easy of a fashion in the first 2 maps. So congratulations to Team Flash. They walk away with $550. Umbrella walk away with $300. Subtilizers with $150, and then Team Kaz, I don't know whether they walk away with that $50 or whether that goes into you know, the last place from the qualifier. Potentially that will be left up to the League Ops team, of course, to ascertain. But that's going to be it from us. Last shout outs, I guess, to ESL Asia as well as Supercell. Quack, you want to give any shout outs for your socials? Now's the time to do it.
Yeah, sure. Let's do shameless plugs. You can follow me at Hey I'm Quack on Twitter, Instagram. That's where I'm at. Yeah, just do a quick Google of Hey I'm Quack, the phrase itself. What about you, Phil?
On predominantly on Facebook with facebook.com/DeathAdderSG. Twitch channel as well. Haven't really put up anything there yet. So that's twitch.tv/DeathAdderSG. You can find me on Twitter. I don't really use it that much, to be honest. And that's the at the _Phil_effect. So the Phil effect on Twitter. But yeah, that's about it from us. So it's been Brawl Stars Singapore Community Rumble April Cup #1. We'll see you for Cup #2 next weekend. And hope you have a great rest of the weekend. And I hope you rest up well for the upcoming week. So that's about it from the production team as well as us, myself and Quack. We hope you have an awesome day. And this is us signing out.